Escopia Radio Talks. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, once again to yet another episode of Escopia Radio Talks. And today we are sitting down with a multi-talented creative. Not only does he do his own videos, he does music, he does modeling. He is so multi-talented, I can't even believe it, man. But before we start, please do introduce yourself. Who are you and what is it that you do?
My name is Ivy Leeg.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a musician, model, student. I'm still studying. And yeah, other than that, I'm just a normal dude.
Damn, that's rare. Somebody's other than that, I'm just a regular dude.
Yeah, like, I don't do much. I won't lie.
So what do you study?
I study BA Law at Northwest University.
Yo,
Yeah.
damn. Okay. Now, one thing I'd like to know is when did you discover your love for music and visual art? Because those two concepts, they correlate, right?
Yeah,
but
yeah.
when did you discover your love for those two
All
different
right.
forms of art?
The love for music came first. You know how it goes. You start freestyling with your friends,
Mm-hmm.
and you see who's better. Then you realize that, okay, even when your friends aren't there, you're still there doing it by yourself. And you're like, I actually like this thing. And then I went to Northwest in 2017.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously, like, the scene there isn't as fast as here in Joburg.
Makes
So
sense.
then there's no guy who's there going to do your videos and shoot your videos. So I'm the type of guy, if there's no one to do it, I'll do it myself. So, you know, you go to YouTube University, you can...
YouTube University.
You know what I mean? You Google how to edit videos, you start
Mhm.
editing videos. And then I started doing that. And then the modeling somehow came somewhere there. I'm not sure like how it came, but like I started modeling because, you know, a friend's like, oh, you should be a model. Then you try it out and it actually works out.
Damn,
And then, yeah, it all just got together.
Now, with that being said, I mean, you do multiple things, right? You're also studying currently.
Yeah.
How did you go on about establishing your modeling career? Because, I mean,
Yeah.
that's a major factor. And especially having that you have modeled for the houses you have modeled for.
Yeah.
How did you establish it, man? How did you go on about with that?
After a friend recommended, I did Top Model South Africa.
Woo.
So
Damn.
no, I would lie. That was a big one. I also never expected it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I did that, and then after I did that, they recommended like I apply to Africa's Face of Fashion. It's like a modeling competition.
Oh.
So then I did that, and then we did SA Fashion Week, and then at SA Fashion Week, I got scouted by the Boss agents,
Damn.
and then I signed to Boss, and then after that, I just started doing gigs and all that, and it all like
That's fire.
yeah.
That's real fire. Now, going to the music side,
Yeah.
nah? You make music. Where do you even get the time to do all these things? You know, I'm just like, what? Now, one thing I'd like to know is what was your first ever release part of your work? When you started with music, surely either you released an EP, a tape, or a single. What was it?
I first released. Okay, I'm a really organized guy.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I planned everything. So like, I was like, okay, with this modeling thing, because I literally planned it. It was Top Model SA. I was like, okay, I'm gonna use that because, you know, people recognize you more because they
True.
just saw you on TV or something like that.
True.
So I was like, okay. I'm gonna drop my EP, My Time. They should check it out. All streaming per fire.
Sure.
You know what I mean? I dropped my EP with a single and a video. That was like I learned to edit before I dropped my first EP because I already planned that when I drop my EP, I need to drop it with a music video because
Makes
visuals
sense.
are essential.
Makes
So then I dropped that February 2017, and then February 2018. No, last year. I'm getting sidetracked. February 2019. After I dropped my EP, I even had a listening session. Like 40 people showed up.
Damn.
But shout outs to them because like at least like there was a start, you know
But
what I
that's
mean?
still a lot of people if you think about it. I mean, people host like what they call listening parties, right?
Yeah.
Or listening sessions.
Yeah.
And you find it's only people they know.
Hmm.
And that's about it. 40 people is a lot of people. Sometimes you get like 10 people at a listening session. So
True.
40 people is a lot, bro.
And at the time, I never even released a single, nothing.
Damn. So it was like
Nothing.
your first
Thing before,
damn.
like it was before I dropped the tape.
Damn,
So I
that's
was like,
fire.
okay, listening session this Friday,
Mhm.
and I'm dropping the tape the
The
next
next day.
week.
Damn.
And
Oh,
people
really?
actually showed up like, okay, let's see if you can actually make music.
Damn.
So yeah, that was dope. The reception was dope, and I've just been doing that since.
That's good support, bro. That's a good support structure. Now, obviously, with making a tape, and you said you'll focus on also making visuals for that tape,
Yeah.
right? Now, what was the creative process like behind or making the tape?
That was crazy because like my producer DNA, he's very talented, and then like he at first we just like record, and then we're like, okay, we need to have a sound. We need to know like what my sound is, like how my voice sound on certain beats, so we know this is what we have to do.
Okay.
So then after we like did like a bunch of songs, we're like, okay, this sounds better than the others. And then we worked on making that type of music for the EP, and then that was the process. So it was literally like after, because we were both studying at the same time, so after classes at night we're recording, wake up, classes at night we're recording.
Yeah. How did y'all manage like micromanagement with school and with recording? How did you guys even manage with that?
I think it's more passion. You know what I mean? Like I know it's a cliche, but you know the cliche where they say all cliches are true. Like if you have a passion for it, you're not working in your mind. You're actually having fun every day. Like we're making songs, we're smiling, we're laughing, we're having fun. So you don't notice that you're working. The only time you notice when you're working is like when you wake up and you have to go to class and your body's tired. But then by the time you actually think of how tired you are, you're already on to the next day and you're just moving.
Damn.
So it's not actually working for me personally.
It's more of like you're having fun. It's like an activity type of thing.
Yeah, it's like meditation, especially from school. You get away from it. You forget about it. Yeah.
Makes sense. Now, currently, as we spoke, like last time we spoke, it was like, okay, lockdown. We couldn't really do what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, virtual type of thing, right?
Tough times.
Like, tough times never last, man, but some people do. Now, what recent talents did you discover you had that you never knew you had?
Oh, that's a good question. I think, I don't know. I actually haven't discovered anything new, to be honest. I've just been defining and really like, I've just been like making sure my craft is better. Like I put more time into the music. I put more time into the visuals.
So mastering what you already have.
Yeah, so I didn't like pick up anything new. I just made sure that, okay, what I have now, it's better be fire. Like now you have time to think of concepts for videos. Now you have time to think of music, the sound. You have time to practice your voice, like actually spend hours, more hours in studio, because you don't have to be in class with everything is online. You see?
Now, speaking about visuals, though, what led you into visual art, like directly into visual art?
I think it was the influence of modeling. I won't lie, because like as a model, like you don't actually control the scene. You just come there. There's a director for the photography. There's a makeup artist. The fashion designer puts clothes on you. The photographer tells you how to pose. You know what I mean? You're just there, and like when you see the after thing, and you're like, wow, that was crazy. 'Cause a team of people like created something that's like beautiful, amazing, and you're like, I want to do that. So then I decided like, yo, let me also do that. You know what I mean? Let me take control of my space and do what I can.
Now, before then, you spoke about a couple of modeling gigs that you were bagging, right?
Yeah.
Like with Boss, the agency, right? If I'm not mistaken, I'm correct, right?
Yeah.
Now, what was your first ever modeling gig? Ever?
Yo, I think it was with Neo Serati. We did like a photo shoot, but that was crazy because like when I got there, in my mind, I'm used to seeing other models. I'm used to going to castings. When I got there, it's just me, and there's like a makeup artist.
What?
And I'm like, okay, everyone is here to work on me. You know what I mean?
The people.
I'm not ready for that type of attention, but like it came out amazing. But like that was dope. That was like my first big experience. And like usually people start off with like a small gig here. Like I just jumped straight into a big gig, and I was like, that's crazy.
Makes sense. Now it sounds like the experience was bizarre.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
Oh, it was unreal. Because you work for it, but in your mind, you don't think you're going to reach there as quickly.
Because it usually takes long in the industry.
Yeah, like I planned long term. I was like, if it comes long term, it's cool. But it came quicker than I expected, and I was like, okay. Yeah.
Now, you also spoke about that you're currently still studying. Now, one thing is like, okay, creative and law.
It's opposite.
Creative and law.
Yeah.
Now, how did you go about with doing law, bro? Creative and law.
I would lie. Like, I won't say it's easy because it's really hard. But, like, I think it was because, like, studying in Northwest and then you're modeling stuff in here in Joburg. So, it's weird because, like, when I'm in Northwest, I'm doing law. And then the minute I have a gig, the minute I feel like I passed that border that says you've now entered Gauteng, then I'm like, okay, model on. You know what I mean?
I get what you mean.
Model music on, and that's what I'm doing. So I'm like, okay, model and music on, that's what I'm doing. And then when I'm in Northwest, it's low.
Damn.
Yeah. So it's like putting on caps or different do-rags.
But it's like 2 different provinces, bro. How do you even manage? I mean, last time we spoke, you spoke about, okay, at times you can get a gig on a Saturday.
Yeah.
Now you need to be this side.
Dude.
Monday you write.
Yo.
You gotta go back.
Yeah.
How does that work, bro?
I would lie, like, I broke up everything into time. Like, one thing about me is I always wish there was more, like, hours in the day. Because, like, now I'm calculating, okay, 2 hours from Port to Joburg. When I get there, an hour to like, find myself, relax, eat or something. And from that hour, I'm going to the gig. After that, like, I literally couldn't sleep until I get back to Port. I get back, I slept.
Damn.
And then you wake up and you're studying, you're doing notes.
Yeah.
But it's the life you chose. Like, you can't complain if this is what you want. You know what I mean? Like, who are you going to complain to?
True, because it's one thing that you're like, okay, you know what, let me accommodate.
Yeah.
But I'm still stuck between law, creative. I guess
it's a balance.
When you get into law trouble, you know, you're your own lawyer.
You know what I mean? It's different fields, like completely different personalities. Because like law people, I won't lie, like they mustn't take it the wrong way. But guys are like, they're uptight, they're straight. You know what I mean? And then you get here, everyone's happy,
makes sense.
But I think it's just like, yeah, the best of both worlds.
When we get back to Gauteng, which is where we are currently, you do modeling and you more like focus into that.
Yeah.
What opportunities has that venture brought for you?
Oh, so many opportunities. Crazy. Like, I always think about like how far I came with this thing, and it's like, I did in 1 year last year. I did Top Model South Africa, February, March. Was it March? Somewhere like June, July.
Damn.
I did SA Fashion Week.
That deserves a PPP. You know, because I can't do their whole right now, but I deserve
and
that.
Then August, I signed with Boss, and I'm like, yo, okay, what's next? You know what I mean?
And this is all in 1 year.
Yeah. And
what?
You're meeting different people. You know what I mean?
In 1 year.
Yeah.
Damn.
That was like, you're meeting different people, and you're like, okay. I think like now it's about being a dreamer and manifesting what you want. You know what I mean? Because now you're like, because the year before 2018, I wanted all these things. And then 2019, I got all these things. And I'm like,
within a year.
Yeah.
Wow.
2020, what are we going to do?
Share the key.
You know what I'm saying?
Share the key.
I think it's just like putting your mind to something. Like, I'm not the partying type. You won't find me there. Like, yeah. You know what I mean? I'd rather sit in the house and like work how to edit videos, work how to make music.
Same here. And you know what's the funny thing? We live in a society where they expect us, because we're young, they expect to see you at a party, but you're not going to benefit at those parties. You need to look at what's beneficial before you go somewhere. You know, it's always the case. And going to a party is not always guaranteed that you're going to benefit through connections or whatever, because most of the time you find there's a person who's going to come in to perform and you only see them on stage maybe a mile away or something like that. And
when you greet them, they already trying to party themselves leave for the next gig, and you're like, okay, my bad.
Exactly. It's as if you are hooking up, but you're killing their vibe or something like that. So when it comes to that type of, how can I put it, that type of workflow, it kind of encourages one, because now it means that, look, man, you find the time to invest back into your work. You know, when others are out there partying, you're like, okay, you know what, damn, I gotta finish these visuals. If not finish the visuals,
study for a test.
Exactly. Or come up with a new concept of some sort.
Exactly that.
That's amazing. Damn.
Exactly that.
While those are having fun,
we work.
You working. It's like when they rest, you work.
Yeah, that's the thing. Or like, I think, it's just like I prefer, like, I'm not that type of scene guy. It's just not my vibe.
Makes sense.
What I mean? Nah, it's not my vibe.
Makes sense. Sense. Now, with every opportunity, there's always going to be a difficulty, like or a challenge, rather. You know, let me call it that.
Challenges.
Yeah. What challenges have you succumbed when establishing your modeling career?
I think it's just like knowing yourself and knowing your worth. Because especially like when you're upcoming, there's a lot of people who like want to take advantage of the fact that you don't know better, or you're young and naive and you just have that hunger and drive.
Makes sense.
So there's been times where I did something where I was like, that didn't actually benefit me. You know that thing where they say it's for exposure, bro.
Makes sense.
You know what I mean?
Makes sense.
And it's like, but that won't pay my bills. That won't, you
True.
know what I mean? But I would say there's times where like that actually works, where you're learning from people where you at. And then there's times where it's just like they're benefiting and you just there.
Makes sense. And when you start looking at it that way, it's more we call them, what are the, you know, those things that they eat off other people's talent, or you know,
Leech.
Huh?
I'll say a leech.
Yeah, let's prefer leech. You know, I was gonna go with the different terminology.
All right.
But a leech, yeah. Leeches. And the crazy thing is that it happens when you are going in a creative space.
Always.
People are always like, yo, man, you my homie. Let's do this. It's not matters of, it's always that thing, okay, how is the communication structure between the two guys? Is it that thing where you hit me up when you only need something? Or we talking, even if it's not that consistent, we talk here and there, and it's that thing where, okay, you know what, dude, I need this, it's gonna benefit the both of us. And I've learned that with relationships, it has to be that thing where it's not just benefiting Tom. It has to be a thing where it benefits Tom and Jerry.
Exactly.
Because if now we're doing something only benefits me, then what did you gain out of it?
You see what I'm saying?
And we're not gonna benefit the same way. Maybe I might benefit in knowledge, you might benefit in terms of exposure, or
that's what I say. It happens differently. It's just people. I think you just have to you have to see what's gonna happen, because I feel like if there's a genuine relationship where you see the person's working and you working, and both of your paths meet and it actually works, that's
Makes
cool.
sense.
But if someone's doing their own thing over there, another guy's just here and he's like, oh wait, come this side. You know what I mean?
Makes sense.
Nah.
How do you deal with the leeches though? That's my question. I'm sure every time they DM, yo man, we need you for this kind of thing.
I won't even lie. I'm pretty good at it.
Damn. Now, what advice do you have to give to? Okay, let me rather separate the two. Right, there's active models, because remember, with active models, we are certain to make common mistakes.
Yeah.
And then there's aspiring, because I mean, with active models, they surely are gonna put, behind the scenes type of thing. Where I've dealt with models before at a fashion show that we've hosted, and it's either they're fighting, you're working together, but you're fighting. Do you know what I'm saying? And if it's not that, it's matters of, oh man, I like this jacket. Let me rather wear it because it fits me more than, you know what I'm saying? So what advice do you have to give to active models? Because you have the experience with modeling with major brands and for major brands. Now, what advice do you have to give?
Okay,
that want to get to that level of working for major brands, because there's active models who are just working for localized brands. Now we're talking about major brands like Levi's.
I think I won't lie, with major brands, that one, if we're being honest about who you know, or who's looking at you, because when it came to working with Levi's, that one was just Rouge. Rouge was doing a commercial, and then she was who's trying to be active with this commercial? And I was like, yo, I'll put my hand waving, put me on. And she actually did. Shout out to Rouge.
Shout out to her.
You know Indeed. What I mean? And then, also once you get there, you have to be a nice person.
Makes sense.
Cool, you're working with a major brand, but they're the major brand, not you. You know what I mean?
Facts.
Sharp, you've worked with Levi's, but you can't go there and say, I'm the one.
Because finally Levi's.
You know what I'm saying? I'm the one now. Because Levi's won't call you back and say, yo, or they won't send you clothes if you're busy acting cool and all that.
Makes sense.
They hit you up. They were doing you the favor.
Makes sense.
You weren't big before
they have the establishment.
You know what I mean? They're established. Don't get caught up in their life. You're still up and coming.
Makes sense.
You know what I mean? I feel like once you get there, just tick it off. Put it in your head, okay, Sharp, you work with them, but tick it off. Tick the box. Put another box. Let's work on something else.
Work on a new venture.
You know what I'm saying?
Makes sense. Okay, and then now, advice to aspiring models. Now, let's say I want to become a model. Where do I even start? What do I do? Where do I go? I'm not trying to make the common mistakes that everybody makes. How do I avoid being, how can I put it, used or, manipulated? Because I have this drive to become a model. I want to become a model, but I just don't know, where do I start? Pieces of the puzzle. What's the first piece of the puzzle before I can put other pieces of the puzzle? What do I do?
I think you have to do your research, because before I actually got into it, like people told me, but before I actually got into it, I first Googled the different types of like agencies.
Makes sense.
I Googled what agencies, like percentage they take. Like I did my research.
Okay.
And then after that, I worked on my portfolio. My friend has a camera. I was like, yo, dude, all I need is a picture of my face, a picture of my body, a picture of my hands, etc. Side.
Makes sense.
You know what I mean? I just need a picture of my profiles. And I was like, yo, can we take that picture? Because when you apply to agencies, they don't want edited pictures.
Yeah.
They just want how you look like naturally.
Damn.
You know?
So no filters. So
Yeah,
those
no.
that use Snapchat. Yeah. It's not gonna work.
You see, so you don't have to actually put in too much work. You don't have to hire this big photographer, because he's also gonna edit.
Makes
and
sense.
if he doesn't edit, why are you paying the cash for?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So I just got my friend. I told him take these pictures. After I got that, and then I googled like the agencies I wanted, and then before I actually applied to agencies, there was a lot of stuff pop up. Like before I applied to an agency, I saw Top Model SA. The competition was starting. Then I was like, okay, let me first do this before I get into an agency. Let me first get that experience in the right way, instead of like working with funny people. I know this brand. You know what I mean? I know this brand is established. I know that, okay, they won't take me somewhere else. So
take it to Mpumalanga.
You know what I
we
mean?
have a young session. Hey, you never come back.
You know what I'm saying? Now my mom is calling. Where's my
Your first gig finna be a lot. Oh man, yo, that's crazy, bro.
Yeah,
that's
so
crazy.
I feel like, okay, my advice is do your research and don't go too big. Just get a normal camera. You can even do it with your phone nowadays.
Yeah.
Take the pictures, send it to the agencies, and then from there, once like you've done that, do your research. Do what you want, because you know what type of model you want to be. There's different types. Like
name the types. Please do educate us onto that. What type of models exist?
No, like there's commercial models, and then there's like runway models. Commercial models are like your TV, your magazines. Your runway are strictly SA Fashion Week, strictly runway.
And how do those aspects work? I mean, how can I go on about with becoming a runway model?
Like that runway model, like you've seen, like, okay, runway models are more people for like, you don't want to be too different, because they want to focus on the clothing and not the model.
Makes
so
sense.
all you have to do is look good in the clothing, but not too different.
Okay.
Can't come here with a hairstyle. You know what I mean? You have to be you, but like it can't be
that thing. You know that thing.
That's like here.
I get what
you know what I mean. So, and the difference is like with commercial models, like they're looking for more normal people. Like when I mean normal, I mean like a person you'll see on the day-to-day. Like a runway model is more like slender than a commercial model.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because they have to fit into any types of clothing. But like commercial models are just like your everyday people. Your everyday people who look good.
How do they get recruited? Now that's my main question, because I mean I've heard of foot models. That's like weird. People have a foot fetish.
No, it's not even that. Like I actually got an email that I have to send like a picture of my hands and my feet.
What?
Yeah.
How weird is
literally.
that? Didn't you find that creepy?
No,
send a picture of your hands and feet.
Not even. It's like being a visual guy. You see these things on TV. You know, like let's say we have a beer commercial and the guy has to grab the beer.
So they don't want hands that look rough.
No, they don't want like guys. You know what? Yeah.
I know what you mean.
They just want you to grab the beer nicely. Don't. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because like let's say I had a tattoo of another beer, but I'm grabbing a different beer. That wouldn't make sense.
True. But how does the recruitment? What are the recruitment stages?
There's castings. Castings are basically auditions. So they call different types of model.
Okay.
If it's a commercial casting, they'll tell you to do scenes. Okay. Like you'd have to act out something or something.
So you have to know how to act.
Basic acting.
Basic, okay, but how do you define basic acting? I mean,
like, okay,
what's basic acting?
Like, I don't want to say, like, you're not, like, gonna be in a movie where you're crying tears and you're like, John, you stabbed my brother. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's just that you're in a commercial, they tell you to eat this pizza and you must enjoy it. That's not acting if you really enjoy the pizza.
But what if the pizza's horrible?
Basic acting. You see what I'm saying? If it's horrible, you have to act like you enjoy it.
Damn. But there's false advertisement, though.
Nah, I wouldn't say false.
Think about it.
Everyone has different tastes.
But if it's horrible.
To you.
But to others.
It's nice.
Okay, makes sense. That's proper. That's proper. Now, back to the way would be, how would you define your experience as a model for the SA Fashion Week? I mean, that's a major deal. I mean, with Top Model SA, that's an established brand, and you were like, okay, I'm not about to apply for shigi type of thing where, but hey, come model this and this and this, we'll pay. Cause I've applied for a job. This is Joburg. It's full of scammers out here. I applied for a job, and I think it was during that period where there was that ANC type of thing, right?
Yeah.
Where they were running some voting program, whatever, right? Now, the crazy thing is that I did my research, right?
Yeah.
The thing for that specific campaign was running this side and not in Mpumalanga. Now, these people, they send me an email. They're like, yo, man, look, just all you need to do is send us your ID number, come through on this day in Maboneng. We will take you to Mpumalanga to the certain lodge where you're going to serve the people and stuff like that. Free stay, free food. And you're going to get paid 1.5 for 3 days. First day, my mom was like, what? Ask yourself this. Why would they pay to take you to this place?
Mpumalanga.
Exactly. Exactly. Mpumalanga is so far.
Yeah.
They might even take you in a buggy. Do you even think you're going to come back?
Hey.
See what I'm saying? And when I did my research, it didn't make sense. I'm like, wait, man, this thing is hosted this side. Why do they want to go to Mpumalanga? It just doesn't make sense.
House.
You are a house, a restaurant house that's based this side, but you want to take me to Mpumalanga.
For what?
You see?
Yeah.
So Joburg is full of scammers, bro, and we can't really avoid these things. And we see it every day. Some people apply for jobs, they work, and where they work, you know, like, have you ever been to a place where somebody is working, they're free, and payday, you don't earn your salary the same as other people do earn their salary. You earn your salary back door. You're not registered to the system.
It's crazy these days.
You know, it happens, bro.
Yo.
It literally happens. So it's, how can I put it? It's more of the opportunities that are availed to you. Hence, like what they call SA Fashion Week is a major like opportunity, because not everyone can just walk in. Yo, man, I wanna, because same way as you've established that there's runway models, then there's the commercial models. Those are two different things, and I'm pretty sure it's pretty much harder to get into SA Fashion Week than to go into a commercial.
I think it's both.
How?
Each one has its own struggle.
Elaborate.
Because in commercial modeling, they already know what they want, and they will deny everyone until that person walks in, because that person's gonna walk in.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Makes
and
sense.
with runway, the designers know what they want. SA Fashion Week already knows what they want. So it's hard. It's just you have to put in the work for both. I wouldn't say anyone is easier than the other.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So it has its own
struggles.
levels of struggle. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, how was the experience? How would you define the experience? Walking on a huge runway, and I'm sure there's a lot of people that are just watching. Man, how was the experience?
It was crazy because we had an installment where you just stand still.
What?
So like you'd walk, and then there was some part where you stand still. Now we're standing there.
So about stage.
Yeah, and it's crazy because people now they're trying to talk to you like they know you. They also.
Oh, damn.
So who are you modeling now? You can't respond. You just have to stand there. And it's crazy because people are taking photos. They're talking about you. They're judging you on all levels. Obviously, it's not like in a harsh way or something. It's just like they're trying to get your attention, because it's not just you. There's like 4 guys also standing there.
Damn it.
So they're trying to see who's going to be that guy who flops and speaks. You know what I mean? So, but it's also dope because like the SA Fashion Week people, like they're very helpful. Like they'll talk to you and tell you what to do. Like they told us, you look here on the forehead. Because you can't look people in the eye. It's scary. Now you're looking at each other in the eye. You know what I mean? So you just look on the forehead where it's like I'm looking at you, but I'm not.
It makes sense.
And it's okay. Now people aren't like looking at you straight and you're not nervous. You know what I mean?
Makes sense.
I got like good advice there. Those people are very helpful. I won't lie.
So when you're walking, what about the stage? Thing I'm trying to find.
The stage, okay, we had to, obviously we walked into a line. So then I was the second guy. So the first guy, Obianke, he was dope. He already knew he was on his model steez, you know.
Sense.
So as long as the first guy is confident, then we're all confident.
Also, if the first guy loses confidence,
obviously you can recover. It's just like it was my first time. So there was a time where we were a bit late for our time. Our timing was a bit late. Like the group already finished and we still had to come out and we were late. So now you're nervous, but then the first guy is already cool, calm and collected. So you're like, yeah, you know what? It's not that big of a deal. Like if I was the first guy, I would have been nervous looking at people like, oh, do they know I'm late? Are they judging me right now? You know what I mean? But because at least he was like not nervous, then it made me not nervous. Because it was my first time. So I was like, yo.
So it's more of like the environment. Is the environment accommodating?
Exactly. And it was very accommodating, so that was dope.
Dang. Okay. Now, with that being said, now one thing with you doing multiple things is say what keeps you going? I mean, surely there's a time where you lose your sanity, man. Like you're doing music videos and you're studying, you know? And studying is not easy. It's not easy. So the pressure must be like, yo, you find your lecturer just emails you out of the blue, yo, man. Because now isn't it Corona, so you guys obviously communicate via email or some sort of server that's provided for you guys. So what keeps you going, man, on a daily basis? What's that thing that like you wake up and it's like, okay, you know what? Today's gonna be a good day. Allows you not to lose your sanity.
I think it's because I love what I do. Like there's days where you feel like not doing anything. And then you actually, like, I give myself time. If I don't feel like doing anything today, I don't.
Makes sense.
And then I'll do that. And then tomorrow I'm like, I'm not going to chill and watch series today. I need to do some. And hence, that's when I see that I actually like what I do. Because no one is telling me, yo, you better get up and make music. You better get up and study. You by yourself. So I'm like, okay, I love what I do. So I'm going to get up and do it. It motivates me. Like, I love series, which is crazy. Like, I can binge watch for days, but I can't just do that forever.
True.
Like, my mind gets so tired, no matter how interesting the series is. So I just need to get up and do what I love doing. So I think I just have a passion for it. So, yeah.
So it's passion. Passion is your drive. Wow. Yeah. Okay. Now, what can we expect from you in the next coming months, man? Like, as I said, you do multiple things. So let's start with the modeling aspect. What can we expect from you?
Modeling aspect, I think just trying to get commercials. SA Fashion Week just passed now, the online one. So I think more commercials because the runway stuff is not going to happen until next season.
Yeah.
That's modeling aspect. Music, I just directed a video for my brother Remo.
Damn, shout out Romeo.
Remo.
Sorry, apologies.
He's got a dope video. I will kill that. I just shot that video, so the visuals for that are coming out. I want to shoot my own visuals, and then I'm going to probably do video stuff. So that's what I'm going to do. Damn. And then school, I'm just trying to graduate. And
with them good marks.
You know what I mean? I have to show my mom that, yo, I'm doing a lot of stuff, but I'm still going to give you good marks. You know what I mean?
Makes sense.
So I'm just going to plan to graduate. So that's the goal for all those things.
Makes sense. Now, where can we find you? Like, where can the people find you in your work?
On all socials, it's IVYLEEG _. So it's just Ivyleeg.
Go follow the man.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, man, for joining us on Escopia Radio.
Bro,
man.
Thank you for having me.
It's our pleasure, bro, man. It's been a lovely talk. Till next time, guys. Much love. And
I see camouflage. I need Mandela face, man.